Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Roddy and I'm a filmmaker. Today I want to talk to you about a couple of cinematography techniques that we had to use in our latest short film, Hearst Buddies. The first cinematography technique that I want to talk to you about today is a very specific shot that I find very cinematic, compelling and filled with a lot of mystery and intrigue. It is a shot where you have a character set deep into the shadows, being revealed only when the emotion of the scene is just right. He jumps and introduces himself when he has to pick up his lines and starts talking. So your first impression of the character is very fresh. You haven't had the chance to see him. And the very first thing you see of the character is what he has to say and add to the scene. And this is how you can do this shot for yourself. When you're planning where and how to take the shot, you need to have an idea of what is going to be in the background. In my case, it's going to be my bedroom and I'm going to be sat on the sofa. You need to make sure that you have a light in the background that silhouettes your character, lights up the background a little bit. After that, you need to make sure that you find where the key light is going to be. That is when the character is going to be leaning into that light. Therefore, you need to make sure that you light the second position of the character, not the first. Once when you find the position of that light, you need to make sure that you block off that light from the first position of the character where he's going to be sat in the shadows. The way I'm going to do this is by using this black material that I'm going to stretch between two light stands. But when you're on set, you would like to use something called a floppy flag with some C-stands and sandbags. The other cinematography technique that I want to talk to you about today is the very final shot of the film. It was written slightly different in the script, but on the day we lost one of the actresses because of scheduling issues, but also time was pressing onto us. So we had to adjust the shot in the same way so we can keep the same punchline of the scene. That the girls playing in the film are actually the narco bosses all along, and everything has been a much larger organization than they let you believe. Here you can see the side-by-side comparison from what we did on the location scout and how the shot ended up being in the final edit. Pretty much stuck with the original plan all along, but we just had to adjust a couple of things. For instance, here at the end of the shot, instead of going around with the camera around the waitress, we had her stop, turn around and pick up the milkshake and face the camera. We had to do this because once when we were on set, blocking with the actors, the extras and the camera and Steadicam and everything, we found out it's going to be nearly impossible to spin the camera around the actor to find that last frame that we had in the pre-production. And it was too much of a risk to keep retaking the shot for the sake of this final camera move. You see, cinematography is not a perfect science. There is a lot of compromises that go into it, but at the end I always go back to what was the emotional beats of the story. I hope that any of this was useful and all these tips and tricks could be applied to your next film. Thank you for watching and bye. I forgot to walk off. I'll do that.